right now on News Channel 8 Today.
The Rays are making a surprise play for the Rowdies. That's right. Ybor City may not be a thing after all ahead when we'll find out more about the idea to move the Rays to downtown St. Pete. And
the time you spend driving is up here in Hillsborough County. I'm Ryan Hughes, and I'll show you why commute times are longer and what's on the ballot in November that could help change that.
Plus, a Bay Area rowing club is left in the lurch after their dock is stolen. Coming up, how much is going to cost them to replace it and who it'll take away from here in the community.
Well, good morning and welcome to News Channel 8 Today. I'm Gail Guayardo.
And I'm Marco Villarreal. Happy Tuesday, 5:30 this morning. You're getting up out of bed. You're wondering how hot it's going to be because we know it's just going to be hot, right, Lee?
Yep. I don't think it's going to be quite as hot as yesterday. Yesterday we hit 96. We broke an old record. We're going to be pretty close, though. So let's go to max defender rate. It's dry now. Max defender rate's future radar mode shows maybe a sprinkle this morning. I really don't think so. I think that we will see increasing rain chances by lunchtime and after. Notice how everything moves east to west, so it'll be heading toward the coast in the evening, meaning the coast gets the rain last. You're allowed to heat up well into the 90s once again before that rain comes. At the bus stop today, again, I'm letting you know again, no rain is expected, right around 79 degrees, but then we hit 93 in the afternoon. That would tie the record with that 30% rain chance. So at 5:38, I'll detail more about your rain chances and the 8-day temperature trend. Marco and Gail, back to you.
All right, thank you, Lee. This morning, if you thought the Rays making the move across the bay to Ybor City was the done deal, think again.
yeah, later this morning, we're expecting to learn why the Tampa Bay Rays now want to buy the Rowdies soccer team, an idea that was actually tossed around more than 10 years ago, but it fell through. Well, today we will hear from the city to explain details behind this new deal. Avery Cotton is live at the Rowdies Stadium this morning, so fans in St. Pete are digging this idea if the Rays stay there.
Good morning, and why wouldn't they? Right behind me is Al Lang Stadium where the Rowdies play. It is planted right on beautiful waterfront property, an ideal location, some say, for a sports team.
It'd be nice waterfront stadium down here. It'll be exciting. I like that.
News Channel 8 confirmed the Rays will buy the Rowdies and take control of Al Lang Stadium. But if you remember back in 2008, the Rays proposed an idea to build a stadium right on waterfront property where Al Lang sits today. At the time, the city of St. Pete rejected the would-be $1 billion project. Now, this deal is sparking rumors all over again. So far, officials not saying if this could halt or even cancel the Rays' possible move across the bay to Ybor City. Rowdies owner Bill Edwards is expected to make an official announcement later this morning. Of course, we will have a crew there, and we will bring you live coverage of the announcement on our Facebook fan page and an update in our midday newscast. In the meantime, St. Pete Mayor Rick Kreisman staying pretty quiet about this. We were able to catch up with him just a little bit and hear what he has to say about this deal coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
It's interesting that they're tossing around this idea because it was so divisive back in the day. People had signs in their yard wanting to move the Rays downtown. Others were fighting it. So we'll have to see. Thanks, Avery.
New this morning, charges are pending against the driver of a van that plowed into a Tampa building. While you were sleeping, we are told the driver lost control and hit a fire hydrant and an apartment building at Tampa Commons on Ventanas Drive. That's not far from the USF campus. The good news here, no one was hurt and there's no significant damage to that building. Also new this morning, a bicyclist is in serious condition after being hit by a car in St. Petersburg overnight. Take a closer look here at the video from the scene. This is in the area of 16th Street South, and according to officers, the bicyclist was in the wrong. The driver stopped and will not be charged. Right now, Tampa police are looking for a so-called needle in a haystack. They're working to find the person who stole a dock from a charitable rowing group that works with disadvantaged kids. The story is getting a lot of clicks on WFLA.com this morning. The dock belongs to the Stewards Foundation. It disappeared from the Palm River last Friday. The teens who row with that group just want the dock back. No questions asked.
Please return it. We're doing this to better the community, and it's just a really big hit, really depressing for the team.
Replacing the dock could cost as much as $30,000. Now, if you know anything about the missing dock, please call the Stewards Foundation or Tampa Police.
All right, it's 5:34. News Channel 8 is your local election headquarters. Today, Democratic candidate for governor Andrew Gillum is visiting the Bay Area. He will stop in Siesta Key to discuss the red tide crisis. Gillum is expected to learn more about the toxic algae bloom and its environmental and financial impact. The town hall is at Siesta Key Beach Pavilion. It starts at 12:45. And tonight, it's your chance to get to know the candidates running for local offices in Riverview. There's a candidate forum at the Regent on Watson Road. It begins tonight at 5:30. Also today, the first debate in the race for one of Florida's seats in the U.S. Senate. Senator Bill Nelson will take on Governor Rick Scott. Telemundo is taping the event in Miramar. It will air at 7, and you can count on News Channel 8 to have complete coverage in our 11 o'clock newscast tonight.
Well, Dickie Betts, the founding member of the Allman Brothers Band, is canceling his November concert at Ruth Eckerd Hall. The singing star is recovering from a freak accident at his home in Osprey. He was playing with his dog when he slipped and hit his head. People with tickets to the November 5th concert can exchange their ticket or get a refund.
Happening today at 5:35, school leaders at the University of South Florida want your input on big changes coming. All 3 of the school's campuses are merging under one umbrella by July 2020. This afternoon, the town hall is scheduled at 3 to get public input. The meeting will be at USF Sarasota Manatee campus. USF's football team is off to an awesome start. The Bulls are now 4-0. This is a video of them beating East Carolina a couple of weeks ago. This Saturday, they'll try to earn their 5th win against UMass. You can watch it on our sister station, Great 38. Kickoff is set for 3:30.
Now time for an 8 on your side on the move report. The time you spend in your vehicle is going up. We found in Hillsborough County, drivers now spend nearly 30 minutes a day driving to and from school, work, and home. That's more than the national average there. News Channel 8's Ryan Hughes, he's live in Tampa. And Ryan, there's only so many podcasts we can listen to. This is getting frustrating.
Good morning to you. It is, and it appears that things will get worse on the roads before they get any better. Now, Bay Area roads seem to get busier and busier by the day. According to statistics from the U.S. Census Bureau, the average commute time in Hillsborough is now 28.3 minutes. That's up 2.4 minutes from 2013. The group All for Transportation is all for reducing that time. The group gathered enough signatures to move forward with a ballot question this November that'll ask voters to approve a minor increase in the county sales tax. Now, if approved, the money will help pay for transportation-related projects.
People used to move away from the city to get away from traffic and congestion. There's nowhere to escape it now. I mean, rush hour is now a 24/7 phenomenon in a lot of neighborhoods.
So again, if that's approved, the sales tax would go up by 1 penny, and that would bring in hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. Back to you.
Hey, that would help if it cuts down the commute time. All right, Ryan, thanks so much. Live in Tampa there.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
30
I
minutes.
bet you there are a lot of commuters that would beg to differ. I mean, it can be a lot longer in some instances.
Certainly. My commute in the morning takes 30 minutes, but there's no traffic.
Yeah.
So if I were doing that during the regular commute, we'd be looking at 45 minutes to an hour. And a lot of people, particularly in southern Hillsborough County, do deal with that. Fish Hawk Ranch, those neighborhoods down in the Riverview, Apollo Beach area, it's booming, but you hear so many complaints about folks trying to travel along 301 and other key routes because they're just not built for the high growth areas. And that's something that the county and FDOT are looking at, but a solution is a long time away. The good news right now is that the interstates look good, up to speed, and throughout the Bay Area, we are accident-free. So at least we have that good news. Lee is here with the bad news.
Yeah, it's going to be hot again.
Right.
She'll be cranking that AC up, blasting it in, you know, no windows down, because it's always nice when you can roll the windows down.
Absolutely.
But not right now. Polk County, this is a look from the Lakeland Auto Mall there, 75 degrees. Check out the heat. 93. You factor in the dew point, which is 72. That tells you how humid it's going to be. It's going to feel like around 101. Now, I do think it's dry this morning, but the rain chances go up relatively high for this time of the year, around 30% by 5 p.m. All those storms pushing toward the coast. Tomorrow, Some drier air, maybe even feeling a little less humid, certainly dropping our rain chance to 10%, 20% for Thursday, back to 10% Friday and Saturday. And when you look at the 8-day temperature trend, hey, we do trend cooler. We just come away from record highs near 93 down to just slightly above average at 90. Kayla Marco, back to you.
All right, this morning, a perfect ending for a cat stuck in a burning home. Hillsborough firefighters rescued the furry feline from an apartment in Apollo Beach. They gave him oxygen using a pet mask. Now the cat is good and new and waiting to be reunited with his human family. Yes, he earned another life.
Oh, good to hear for that little kitty.
All right, reversing the trend of shopping on Thanksgiving Day.
Still ahead, the stores that are pledging to keep their doors closed on Turkey Day this year right here in Tampa Bay.
And a pet cat locked in a St. Pete apartment for 10 days without fresh food or water. Coming up, Better Call Bacon comes to the rescue to help a grieving family.
Plus, the way that a college police officer saves the day for a woman and child trapped in a sinking car in Lakeland. Right now, 5:40.
And guess what? It's Takeover Tuesday. Corey Davis is taking over the WFLA Instagram page to give us a look at his life behind the scenes. So make sure you follow us on WFLA to see all the fun posts. Time right now is 5:41. You're watching News Channel 8 today. It's 5:43 right now. Heartbreaking new numbers out of Indonesia following a devastating earthquake and tsunami there. Officials now confirm more than 1,200 people died, and the death toll in several areas is still being counted. Meanwhile, that number will likely rise. Video shows villages completely wiped away. Mass burials are already underway as crews race around the clock to rescue anyone who might still be trapped. Sick and stranded. Imagine what it would be like to suffer from a devastating illness only to be left at the curb, unable to travel to treatment or return home.
8 on your side, senior investigator Steve Andrews shows us this disturbing trend.
She has no other way to get to her cancer treatment, so Diana Luzinski relies on rides paid for by Medicaid.
Seems like I have to wait every time longer and longer for them to come pick me up.
81-year-old Johanna Spaninato contends she can't get into the vans one Medicaid provider sends and has been forced to cancel one appointment after another for her cancer treatments.
Then you have to wait almost 2 to 3 hours for them to pick you up, take you home.
According to an office manager at this cancer center, the transportation issue is only getting worse. I'm 8 on your side, senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews. Watch my special report, Sick and Stranded, tonight at 6 on News Channel 8.
Well, 8 is on your side getting results this morning. A cat is now safe and sound after being trapped in its deceased owner's St. Petersburg apartment for 10 days. Debbie Waters, she died 11 days ago, and since then, her beloved cat named Kitty had been locked in her apartment. Family reached out to 8 on your side for help. They told us apartment management would not let them get the cat because of legal barriers.
There was no estate. My mom didn't have a will. All of her worldly possessions were in that apartment. That's all she had, and that cat.
Yesterday, News Channel 8 reached out to Pinellas County Animal Services. Within an hour, help arrived, and management gave Jennifer Steck a key to the apartment. Kitty was shaken up with little water and no food. Now the family is thankful to have her back.
Animal abusers will now face harsher penalties in Florida, including more jail time. A new law took effect yesterday. It means animal abuse a Class 5 offense instead of a Class 3. What does that mean? Well, abusers are more likely to get time behind bars. It also allows judges to prevent abusers from owning a pet or even having contact with animals.
A campus officer with Florida Polytechnic University is being called a hero this morning. He rescued a mom and her child when they crashed their car into a pond in Lakeland.
I immediately heard a baby crying in the car, and then I noticed a female in the front seat area of the vehicle. And at that point, it was go get it done.
So this was the scene that Officer Tommy Jackson spotted off University Boulevard. He waded through the mucky water, was able to pull that mom and child out, and then they were taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay.
It's 5:46 now, an 8 on your side medical report. Constant changes in your weight and health may put you at risk of an early death. Researchers in Korea analyzed health data from nearly 7 million people who had not had any heart problems and were otherwise healthy. They found those who had the biggest changes in their weight, cholesterol, blood sugar, or blood pressure were more likely to die prematurely. They were also at higher risk of suffering a heart attack or stroke. You may want to call the White House the Pink House overnight. Crews lit it up with pink lights. It's all in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which runs through October 31st.
It's a story sparking conversation and a lot of clicks on WFLA.com this morning. Should stores open on Thanksgiving Day? Well, this morning we have learned that dozens of stores are deciding to stay closed on Turkey Day this year. According to BestBlackFriday.com, 60 stores confirmed they will not open their doors to shoppers on Thanksgiving. Some include Costco, Home Depot, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx. Executives explain it's a move to give their hardworking employees a chance to relax and spend some time with family. It comes after years of sharp criticism of stores for opening on Thanksgiving. For a full list of stores staying closed on that holiday, head to WFLA.com. I love that story. Thanksgiving, one of my favorite holidays, and I think one of the more underrated holidays in our country.
Yeah.
You know, we should all be thankful.
Oh, every day.
Every day.
On that day, come together with family if you can and celebrate.
Yes, and get
And
stuff.
then shop on Friday.
Yes.
And Friday you can go
Lots
nuts.
of Friday shopping.
Or online shopping, like you
Or
talked
shop
about.
online, and then you can eat extra pie while shopping
There you
in
go.
stretchy pants.
Love that plan.
There you
It's
go.
very efficient, very efficient. This morning we take a look outside of Max Defender 8 and, you know, it doesn't feel like fall at all. Max Defender 8 is dry. We do have rain over on Florida's east coast, but we are stuck in some summer heat. 75 degrees at the Hyundai of Newport Richey right now. Light north breeze. You can see the flag flying just a bit. So the sun's going to rise this morning at 7:23 and set at 7:15. So technically we are getting these shorter and shorter days. It's just still hotter and hotter while the sun is up. 79, a bit humid at 8 a.m. and then hot. As early as lunchtime, we hit 89 and then 93 for the high temperature. That would tie the record for today. And I do have today's rain chance at about 30%. So if you step out the door right now in Bartow, it's warm. 77 there, 75 in Zephyr Hills, 77 Bradenton. My weather watcher Angie in Inverness says it's 74 at her house, and she feels kind of like a broken record. So do I. But not very fall-like this morning, as we have mentioned. Just a few clouds, fast warm-up. We can see a stray shower as early as around lunchtime. Got this week, I barely even want to call it a front. It's more of a switch in the winds, bringing us a 30% rain chance today and then allowing that drier air to filter in for tomorrow morning. So you may notice the humidity is a little bit lower, which is going to lower our rain chances, but it's still hot. We go from a 30% chance today to a 10% chance tomorrow, but 93 both days. Then we're 92 for Thursday and Friday, and keeping that humidity on the lower level. Meredith, how's traffic on the 8th?
Do have a report of an accident now in Plant City. Paul Buckman Highway, which is State Road 39 at Alexander Street. Florida Highway Patrol says there's no report of any roadblock here. I am not seeing any delays there on either road. I'll keep an eye on it, and if that changes, of course, I'll keep you posted on that. Interstates in and out of Tampa still looking good. 60 miles per hour is what I see here on southbound 275. Between Fowler and Bush Boulevard, so still up to speed. As far as your bridges go, no delays on the Courtney Campbell Howard Franklin Skyway. I checked, and the Gandy Bridge looks great also. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Art can sometimes bring you to tears.
But one gallery in London is taking that literally. Coming up, the exhibit designed to make you cry.
Bring a tissue. All right, also, this unusual sight. Somebody decided to go to the bar and horse around. This escapee bucking its way through a bar. Ahead, where this happened and how that horse got in. Right now, it's 5:50, and you're watching News Channel 8 today. All right, here's the video a lot of people are talking about today. A horse walks into a bar. Yep, that's the end of the joke there, because the rest is all true. The young horse here escaped her stable, ran to the nearest cafe, walked right into the door. And this didn't happen out west somewhere here in the U.S. No, it was near Paris. And it was all caught on camera. You see the customers, they're taking off there, scrambling to get out of the way. Thankfully, that horse made a U-turn, then bucked its way out of the bar. Didn't even pay its bill, though. That's the thing.
Well, you know why?
Got people upset.
When you're a racehorse, you're supposed to go for fast food.
Right, not a fast drink.
Right.
Not a good idea. All right. Well, hey, the phrase moving you to tears, taking on a whole new meaning.
This strange art gallery is designed to make you cry. It's at Tate Modern Gallery exhibit in London. Visitors can go to a room filled with a menthol-based compound that literally brings tears to your eyes. The artist says it's designed to create empathy among strangers. There's enough to cry about in this world. You don't need to throw fumes my way. I'm good. Okay.
All right, 8 on your side. We're checking on the germs floating around your schools, making your children sick.
That's new in our next half hour in our Beating the Bug report.
Also, tree trouble for a Tampa man. A big branch comes crashing through his home, but the city says he can't remove what's left of it. 8 on your side looks at why. It's 5:55 on your Tuesday morning.